Hello students, myself Mukunda Bora, teach the social science from Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti. Welcome you all to my class. Today you will going to learn about on equality NCERT class 7 social and political life part 2 civics chapter number 1. So before going to start this chapter, let us recall a chapter from Class 6 Social and Political Life Part 1. And the name of that chapter is Key Elements of a Democratic Government. So there are three key elements of a democratic government that are people's participation, resolution of conflict, equality and justice for all. And out of these three, equality has the greatest influence on how democratic government works. On this chapter on equality, you have to remember first of all that India is a democratic country. Equality is a key feature of democracy and influences all aspects of its functioning. In this chapter, you will learn about equality, what is equality, and going to understand the importance of the idea of equality and dignity in democracy. You will learn about democracy as a representative form of government, and also going to know about the vision and value of the Indian Constitution. Now let's begin by looking at Kanta's story, who is standing in line to cast her vote on election day. On election day, Kanta and her friend Sujata are waiting to cast their vote. Kanta told to Sujata that is not it good, Sujata, that we can all vote as equal citizen of our country. Even Jain Saab is standing in line with us. So Sujata and Kanta, they are the domestic worker. They work for others. But on that line, different sections of people are standing along with them. Some of them are teachers, some of them are caterers, some of them are students, some of them are industrialists. So like that, different sections of the people are standing along with them. So after some time, its turn come to Kanta to cast her vote. So she entered in the ballot unit to cast her vote. So at that time, Kanta, while casting vote, she think herself, I will vote for the candidate who has promised to bring pipe water to our area. So there are so many candidates. They used to promise different things to the people. So she was need of the pipe water in that area. So because of that reason, Kanta think that I am going to give my vote to that candidate who promised us to give us pipe water. So after some time, they are going towards their home, both Kanta and Sujata. So on the way, Kanta told to Sujata that her daughter Gudia was running very high fever and she want to take her to the hospital. But she told to her that first of all I have to finish the work at Sahab house first and I have to ask some advance money from them, then only I can go to the hospital. So Kanta come to house at home. She looked to her daughter. She was feeling very high fever. But even though to satisfy her daughter, Kanta told to her daughter that I will back in the evening and take you to the hospital. So after coming out from the home, she is looking to her surrounding and she wondered that Gudia falls ill often because the basti is never cleaned up properly. So Kanta has gone to their Sahab's house, working there for the whole day, and after returning time, she has been taken some amount of money, and at the evening, she has taken her daughter to the hospital. While coming to the hospital, again she was making a long line for the OPD, outpatient department. So at that time, just Kanta was thinking that Jain Sahab and Jain Madam may not stand in line to vote, but they never have to do it when their children are sick. So Kanta was thinking that Jain Sahab and her madam was standing in a line to vote, but they never standing in the line for the hospital like that, because all here in the line in the hospitals are the poor people. So now the first topic that you are going to get here is equal right to vote. In a democratic country like India, all adults, irrespective of what religion they belongs to, how much education they have had, what caste they are, or whether they are rich or poor, are allowed to vote. The idea of universal adult franchise is based on the idea of equality because it states that every adult in a country has one vote. So when we have been got right to vote, every person has one vote. They cast only one vote, and that will be counted only one value. Okay, one person, one vote, one value. As you know, as the days was gone, the Kanta becomes less certain about what is equality really means. Her daughter is sick, but she cannot take the day off from the work because she needs to borrow money from her employer to take her child to the doctor. Because the Kanta don't have money to take to the doctor directly. So she have to work on the day on the employer house, and she have to take some amount of money so that she can take her daughter to the hospital. Her job as a domestic helper tries her out, and finally she ends her day by again standing in a long line. So after completely tired by working again along with her daughter, she was standing in the line for the doctor. This line in front of the government hospital is unlike the one in the morning because most of the people standing in it are poor. So in the hospital line, most of the people are the poor. But while voting time, all sections of people has been there. They are rich as well as poor also. So the important term which you have been got here on universal adult franchise. So the people here making a queue for casting their vote as like Sujata. So this is a very important aspects of democratic society. It means that all adults who are 18 years or above citizen have right to vote irrespective of their social or economic background. So now dear students, watch a video of election day in Assam and Odisha. The election process here going on in Assam, the Panchayat election. So you see a mass level of people are participating in the election. Different sections of people are on the line along with their voter ID, and different age group are also coming to cast their vote. So long queue is there. Women, children, they are also bring their children along with them. A long line and long queue that has been there, as you have been seen here in the video clip. So another, this one is from Odisha general election. Here also a mass level of people are participating in the process of election by casting their vote. Huge numbers of voters are gathering here, as you have been seeing in the video, along with their ID proof. Okay, they have to bring the voter ID card, then the Aadhaar card, like that. And even the people from long distance, they are coming to cast their vote. After watching these videos, I think you come to know that voting is a very important right of a citizen in a democratic country. Next topic, other kinds of equality. Apart from being poor, India in India, people experiencing inequality in different ways. One of the common forms of inequality in India is the caste system. Now let us read a story about the experiences of a Dalit child attending school. So what is meant by Dalit? Dalit is a term that so-called to the lower caste used to call themselves. So they used to address themselves as a Dalit by the lower sections of the people. Om Prakash Valmiki is a famous Dalit writer. In his autobiography Jathan, he talks about his experiences of growing up as a Dalit boy. Om Prakash was made to sweep the school and playground when other boys were studying in the classroom. And this only came to an end when his father, who happened to be passing by the school and saw that his son is sweeping the school instead of studying in the school. Then he came to the teacher and asked the teacher and got angry on the teacher why he was not been given studying and he was been given the duty of sweeping the school and the playground. So he take his son along with him and told to the teacher that I will bring more students from Dalit sections along with the Om Prakash. So this is the image of the book written by Om Prakash, that was Jathan, and this is the person Om Prakash Valmiki. So already you know regarding the inequalities. So traditionally Indian society was divided in lower and upper caste, and the people of lower caste, that is Dalit, were considered untouchables and were discriminated against by the higher classes, mostly by Brahmins. So here is a diagram showing the hierarchy of the caste system in India. In the upper level, the Brahmins, second the Kshatriyas, third the Vaishyas, then Sudras, and the Dalit. Okay. Then next, continue with the other kinds of inequality. Let us take the second story. The second story is about Mr. and Mrs. Ansari, who were looking to rent an apartment in the city. They had money, and so paying the rent was no problem for them. They visited the first apartment. When the lady land found out their names, she made an excuse about how she could not rent the house to someone who eat meat because the building did not have any non-vegetarian residents. These are the images of the apartments. Mr. and Mrs. Ansari were the Muslim people. They are the non-vegetarian, and the lady Len, she was vegetarian, and because of that reason she did not want to give her apartment to Mr. and Mrs. Ansari. The same excuse was repeated in second and third apartment. Finally, the property dealer told them that they might want to change their name and call themselves as Mr. and Mrs. Kumar. But the Ansari were reluctant to do this and decided to look some more apartment. So now the next topic is recognizing dignity. You have understood by now that the caste we are born into, the religion we practice, the class background we come from, whether we are male or female, these are often the things that determine why some people are treated unequally. When persons are treated unequally, their dignity is violated. The dignity of both Prakash Valmiki and the Ansari was violated because of the way in which they were treated. Prakash and the Ansari do not deserve to be treated like this. They deserve the same respect and dignity as anyone else. So everyone should be respected in the society, whether they are from different background, whether they are rich or poor, whether they are upper caste or lower caste, or they are belong to the different religion. Everyone should be respected in our society. We should not be hurt and ill-treated to anyone. We should have to be considers everyone's dignity and have to be recognized the dignity. Next topic, equality in Indian democracy. The Indian Constitution recognizes every person as equal. Every individual in the country, including male or female, from all castes, religion, tribes, education and economic background are recognized as equal. In our country, there are laws to protect people from discrimination and ill treatment. Important provisions in the Constitution on equality. There are 4 provisions that has been given in the Constitution of our country. Number 1, every person is equal before law. Number 2, no person can be discriminated against on the basis of their religion, race, caste and gender. Number 3, every person has access to all public place including playground, shop, market, hotels. All person can use public wells, roads and bathing ghats. And number 4, untouchability is abolished. So the Constitution of India, then Bhimrao Ambedkar, the image of Bhimrao Ambedkar. Okay. Now let us look about the Bhimrao Ambedkar. So the image of Bhimrao Ambedkar. Bhimrao Ambedkar was the chief architect of our Constitution. It is because of him that our Constitution covers a wide range of civil liberties, including the freedom of religion and the abolition of untouchability. So the Bhimrao Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Indian Constitution. So the Constitution was drafted in 2 years, 11 months and 18 years. And because of his hard work, he was known as the chief architect of our country and popularly known as the father of Indian Constitution. This is the image of the Parliament of India. The Parliament is the cornerstone of our democracy and we are represented in it through our elected representative. So we send our representative to the Parliament and other assembly and other assemblies. As you know, we sent the members of Parliament, that is MP, who represented us in the Parliament. The 2 ways in which the government has tried to implement the equality that is granted in the Constitution is first through law and second through government programs or schemes to help disadvantaged communities. So among this, the midday meal scheme is one of the important scheme that was been taken by the government. Midday meal scheme, all of you know what is it. So midday meal scheme refers to the program introduced in all government elementary schools to provide children with cooked lunch. Tamil Nadu was the first state to start midday meal in schools. In 2001, the Supreme Court instructed all states to implement midday meal schemes in their schools. So nowadays, the midday meal schemes is running all over our country in the government schools. Now it was not limited only to the elementary school. In some states, it was been given to some higher classes also. Midday meal had many positive effects. They are more poor children began to enrolling and regular attending schools. So after midday meal, many poor children are coming to the school regularly. They are attending the schools also. Number two, the program helped reduce caste prejudice because both lower caste and upper caste children in the school eat their meal together. This program also provided food and nutrition to the children of poor families who were not able to provide healthy nutrition to their children. So now the children are coming to the school, they are getting meal with nutritious food. Next topic, issues of inequalities in others, democracy. The problem of inequality and discriminations are not unique to developing countries like India. Even in advanced countries, the people are discriminated against and they have to fight for their right. An example of this is the African American civil rights movement in USA, where black people were treated as slaves, had to come together and fight for their right. African Americans were treated unequally in USA. For example, when traveling by bus, they either has to sit at the back of the bus or got up from their seat whenever a white person wished to sit. Civil rights movement in America started in late 1950s to push for the equal right for the African Americans and to end the racial discrimination. On December 1, 1955, Rosa Parks, a 42 years old African American woman, boarded the bus to go home from work. On that day, Rosa Parks initiated a new era in the American quest for freedom and equality. Why? Because she refused to give her seat to the white man. The Civil Rights Act came into being in 1964 that prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, religion, or national origin. So after a long struggle by African American people, they ultimately got an act which has been popularly known as Civil Rights Act in the year 1964. So these are the different images of the civil rights movement in America. So black people, the black African American people, they have been fight for their right. So now here, let us look the two great personalities of the world. One is Mahatma Gandhi and another one is Nelson Mandela. Mahatma Gandhi also fought for the equal right and also the Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela is from South Africa, and you know he was known to be the leader of the African National Congress, and our popular leader, the father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, who fight for the equal right for the people of our country. Next topic, the challenge of democracy. Democracy is the most popular form of government around the world because it gives equal right to all. But no country or society is fully democratic, and people all over the world must continue to work hard to spread awareness about the importance of full and fair democracy. So still there are lots of challenges in the democracy because in many places of the world still the people are not become fully democratic. Why? Because lots of awareness is needed among the people of the society regarding the importance of democracy. Now here, let us watch an animated video. So now, dear students, let us see the Disability Act of 2016. So before discussing this topic, I have been shown you an animated video, and I think you have been understand about this one, why I want to show that animation. Now, Disability Act of 2016, this law states that person with disability have equal right, and the government should make possible their full participation in society. The government has to provide free education and integrate children with disability into mainstream schools. This law also states that all public places, including buildings, schools, etc., should be accessible and provide with rents. So these are the images of the disabilities. So now we have to be treated them not as handicapped. They should be treated as differently able children, and they should be also treated as equality as like us. Now let us summarize the chapter. Number one, the Constitution of India granted equality to all the citizens. This chapter discusses the need for equality through highlighting the inequalities that continue to be practiced and experienced by various communities. The government role in passing law and instructing policy is discussed to show the commitment to the alleviation of existing inequalities is a major part of the work that government undertakes. At issues of inequality in the United States of America to highlight that it is a global phenomena. I think you have been understood most of the point of this chapter. So last, let us see the glossary also. Number one, universal adult franchise. This is a very important aspect of democracy. Okay, it means all the adult who are 18 years and above citizen have the right to vote irrespective of their social or economic background. Number two, dignity. This refers of thinking of oneself and other person as worthy of respect. Number three, constitution. This is a document that lays down the basic rules and regulation for the people and the government in the country to follow. Then number four, the civil right movement, a movement that began in USA in 1950s, in which African American people demand equal right and to end the racial discrimination. So with this glossary, I think you have been understand most of the things from the chapter. Next, we are going to have some questions as an homework. So note it down. The first question, when and where did the civil rights movement take place? Number two, name the author of the book, Jothan. Number three, name the first Indian state to introduce to the midday meal scheme. Number four, define the term dignity. Number five, what are the provisions given in the Constitution on equality? Number six, what is meant by universal adult franchise? Dear all viewers, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Press the bell icon and never miss any up-to-date. The end, and thank you. Have a nice day, all of you.